Ryan Agoncillo posted a video of him and his wife Judy Ann Santos. Find out what it is. We all know for a fact the fans of different celebrities from different networks were curious as to how their idols managed to maintain their incredible figure despite their busy schedules. They are a bit curious if celebrities really have secrets in maintaining their body figure. Now, the celebrity couple, Ryan Agoncillo and Judy Ann Santos, are being questioned as to how they manage to stay fit despite their work schedule. To answer their questions, Ryan Agoncillo posted a video of him and his wife while working out on their home. It's unclear when was the video taken, but it's clear that the video is indeed worth watching. Invite you to watch the video. Matamoto's family describe him as barbaric. He just keeps on talking, he just keeps on making stories. Controversies in the extrajudicial killings continue as the test for credibility of the presented witness, Edgar Matamoto, goes on. Matamoto was first presented during the second hearing of the Senate and has been claiming that he was one of the Davao death squad. According to him, he has been assassinating under the direct order of Rodrigo Duterte, killing various personalities and criminals. But when his family was interviewed as part to verify his statements, they seemed annoyed with him just like the senators are. Nina Capao, his family, stated, they couldn't get back their money anymore because they are afraid of Edgar. It was Edgar who frequently gets money from them. They give their money to Edgar because he is always armed. He always accuses my daughter of going out with other guys, but my daughter is just staying at home most of the time. He would beat her despite that. I do not know if he knows Duterte. He just keeps on talking, he just keeps on making stories. Maybe he knows Duterte, because Duterte is the mayor of Davao that time, but they do not personally know each other. She added. Invite you to watch the video. Breaking, drug lord Tony Company found dead in New Bilibid prison, 3 high-profile inmates injured. One high-profile inmate on Wednesday morning passed away in a stabbing incident inside Building 14 of the New Bilibid prison, NBP, Muntinlupa City. A high-profile inmate and drug lord Tony Company was killed this morning in a stabbing incident inside New Bilibid prison in Muntinlupa City. According to the breaking news of Inquirer.net, Tony Company was killed in a riot while other inmates, J.B. Sebastian, Peter Company and Vicente Sai, were wounded in the incident. Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre too confirmed that Tony was not able to survive from the wounds he sustained after they were rushed to the medical center of Muntinlupa. Initial reports said the riot started at 7:40 a.m. when Peter, Tony and Sai were caught using shabu inside. They were reprimanded by co-inmate Major Dungale. As of the press time, Sebastian was already stable, while there are varying reports on Peter's condition, with others saying he is 50/50 while others say he is already stable. Sebastian was also invited as a witness in the House Committee on Justice probe and de Lima's alleged involvement of drug operations inside Bilibid, stated that he no longer see the needs to testify. Sebastian was allegedly a favored inmate who has connections with former Justice Secretary now de Lima. Invite you to watch the video. Must read, you are the lowest and vilest creature not only in our country but on earth. Jinggoy Estrada said to Senator de Lima. Senator Jinggoy Estrada made a statement against Senator Leila de Lima on his Facebook page. Before you accuse the president, why don't you look at the mirror and see for yourself who between you and the president is the lowest and vilest person in our country? In Estrada's statement, he defended President Duterte and said that the lowest and vilest creature on earth is not the president but de Lima herself. He first pointed out that it was almost a year when she slandered the senator in different forms of media and believed in a witness who is an illegal drug user. The second point that he said is, he also raised some questions. 1. As the Sec of Justice, why does she often visit Muntinlupa and why is she always talking to the convicted drug lords? 2. What are you doing in J.B. Sebastian's shed for 3 hours? 3. 7 witnesses testified that your driver and you got money from illegal drugs. The question is, do you feel any conscience in what you have done, whereas you urge them to sell illegal drugs just to attain the quota? 4. How much funds have you gathered for your campaign that came from illegal drugs and how much did you consume? He also said that Senator de Lima should stop to pretend that to be clean and to answer all the allegations thrown her way. Invite you to watch the video. Recto to Duterte, strong words can scare investors. Amid the weakening of the peso, Senate Minority Leader Ralph Recto urged President Rodrigo Duterte to calculate his statements, saying these words have an impact on the economy. While Recto agreed that the government is not the main reason for the decline of the peso, the senator emphasized the need for the Duterte administration to clarify its position on foreign policy, extrajudicial killings, and the declaration of a state of lawlessness, among others. There must be more certainty, Recto told reporters on Tuesday, September 27, referring to government policies. Duterte has been criticized for his apparent inconsistent statements on national and foreign affairs, especially those involving the United States, the United Nations, China, and Russia, calculated Lahat. Words do matter. Kailangan maingat, everything should be calculated. Words do matter. We should be careful, Recto said. The peso plunged to a 7-year low against the US dollar, with analysts saying investors are pulling out money from the country partly due to political issues. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas attributed the continued weakness of the peso to uncertainties brought about by the next action of the U.S. Federal Reserve as well as the strong demand for U.S. dollars. Not one or the other. Recto said Duterte should treat the country's allies well, especially the U.S., to avoid having a chilling effect on other Western investors. Duterte, the senator said, can achieve healthy relations with both China and the U.S., without antagonizing one of them. That's why money is being pulled out, the peso is weakening. If you treat your allies not well enough like the U.S., of course other Western investors would be worried. So treat your allies better and improve relations with China. Both can be achieved. It does not mean it has to be one or the other. Duterte earlier slammed U.S. President Barack Obama for questioning him on human rights issues. The president also earlier urged investors worried about his pronouncements to leave the country, saying he would rely on Russia and China instead. Negative perceptions. While Recto said the depreciation of the peso is also caused by the potential increase of interest rates by the U.S. Fed, it is exacerbated by Duterte's remarks, especially on killings. You couldn't say it's the major reason. 50-50. One is the U.S. Fed's plan to increase rates. The other, exacerbated in the Philippines because of our pronouncements, he said. The senator added that a person would not want to go to or invest in a country where there is a reported state of lawlessness or spate of extrajudicial killings, whether true or not. Duterte's war on drugs has been highlighted abroad, making headlines in major international news outlets such as BBC, Time, The New York Times, and Wall Street Journal, among others. Definitely, it's not helping. If you are a European investor, you know there are such things happening, you will be scared. Let's say you are a tourist and you read in Time magazine, Wall Street Journal, New York Times about the killings here, rampant killings. Rightfully or wrongly, what impression would that give you? Are you going to invest? Will you visit the Philippines? Will you be a tourist? Recto then urged members of the cabinet to advise the president to watch his words. The advisors should speak truth to power. Sabihan naman hinahinayan, tell him to be careful with his words, the senator said. Duterte, however, earlier said his mouth would not bring the country down. Invite you to watch the video. Kings seek 2-0 edge versus Birman. Texters fully loaded, Rao Bolts. TNT Katropa came out bristling with a lot of fight and went on to put the lights off the Moralco Bolts. The Texters shifted to higher gear in the second half and blasted the Bolts for a decisive 113-95 victory and the head start in their PBA Governors' Cup semi-final showdown at the Smart Araneta Coliseum last night. The Texters lived up to their billing as the playoff top seeds, dismantling the Bolts, 39-24. In the third quarter and roaring on to sustain a dominant ride from the eliminations. They hope to ride the momentum of their 6-game romp in Game 2 tomorrow at the same venue. Both teams were missing and making some shots in the first half. In the third, they missed some shots and were able to convert on the other end, said TNT coach John Uichiko. and as everybody will say, we haven't accomplished anything yet and we can't let our guards down as Moralco can come back, Uichiko added. Sportshub, article Merck, page match, 1, section match, 1. The Texters fired away 15 of 33 pointers to highlight their conquest of the Bolts, where they took an 84-67 spread at the end of the third, then led by as many as 24 at 113-89. Meanwhile, Barangay Ginebra guns for a 2-0 lead against San Miguel Beer in their side of the Final Four at 7 tonight, also at the Big Dome, with Kings coach Tim Cohn expecting a big comeback from the Beermen's virtual all-star starting unit. Michael Maidenly, Jason Castro, Larry Fonacier, Kelly Williams and Mitchell Ammons teamed up in a third-quarter breakaway as the Texters broke away from a tight first-half duel. Moralco engaged TNT in a nip-and-tuck battle in the first 24 minutes, trailing by just 2, 43-45, largely behind Alan Durham's early double-double exploits. Durham piled up 16 points and 13 rebounds as they fought the Texters through 16 lead changes and 6 deadlocks in the first half. The Bolts, however, failed to keep up as the Texters stepped up their charge at the resumption of the contest. Maidenly, Ammons and Castro all deliver the bulk of their outputs in the second half, combining for 40 points after struggling for 11 in the opening half. The Syrian import stood out as he sizzled with 4 of 6 three-pointers and a total of 20 markers after making only 2 in the first 24 minutes of play. Even when he was playing for NLEX, he's known for his shooting. It's his mindset, said Uichiko of Maidenly, the scoring champ in the 2007 FIBA Asia Championship. Uichiko also had good words for Castro. We didn't know the game plan of Coach Norman Black. So Jason sized things up first. When he's able to read it, his game came out naturally, said Uichiko. Jason has been our pillar. It's hard to have a winning team if you don't have a good point guard. He's known as a scoring point before. He's improved on both facets of scoring and in setting up his teammates, Uichiko added. Thank you for watching videos like you. Remember, the channel, register and comment below. Thank you.